So I'm going to be starting a little series called Flutter Basics, and today the first episode is going to be about navigation. So there's two main ways of navigation, one's with named routes and one's without named routes. We'll go over both of them. We'll go over how to navigate to a new screen and back, send data to the new screen and return data from that screen for both options. At the end we'll do a little comparison of them to see which one to use and when. Before we start, I want to go over what the stack and what pushing and popping is. So let's imagine this is a person's head. There's the eyes, there's the nose, and he's looking directly downwards. So let's say we have two screens. One screen is called home. The person will be seeing the home screen, right? What I click. So he is looking directly on the whole screen. We can push things onto the stack. So push means we're putting something on top. And now we have a second screen. Let's just pretend this screen is called second. So he pushed something on top. Now he doesn't see the home screen anymore, and he will see the screen above. This is what pushing is. When you push something onto the stack. Then also we have a pop. A pop is when you remove it, and the person will no longer see the screen that was on top, and he will once again see the home screen because that other screen got popped off the stack. I hope that makes sense, but we'll go from there. So I have an app running. It has nothing on it. This is what the main looks like. It just goes directly to home. Home just displaying hi, and then we have a second screen that doesn't have anything. So let's make it a little more readable. Wrap this in a widget and a scaffold. And then we can change this to body and change this to center. Do you see hi there? Then let's add an app bar so we know that this is the home screen. There, easy. Let's do the same thing with second. Just so when we do get to that screen, we will know that this is indeed the second screen. Oof, mistyping. Second screen. Might as well add a body with the center, child, text, second. So we're going to go over the method without named routes first because it's a bit simpler. Let's change this. Let's wrap this in a raised button, and then we're going to need you see the button's grayed out because we need it on pressed. On pressed, we'll make a function called go to second. Go to second. I always like to make sure I put a void so I know that I'm explicitly not giving it a type. You don't really need it, but I like to do that. Actually, this could be up here. Doesn't need to be inside the build function. So all we need to do in go to second is call Navigator class dot push, and you'll see you need a context and you need a route. The route is going to be a material page route, which we will need to define a page builder context. Then what page do you want? The second page. Let's put some commas here to make it more readable. So this is saying what are you trying to push, and we want to push the second screen. See if it worked. Hi, there we go. We go to second screen. Flutter automatically gives you a back button in the app bar if you push something on top, so you can go back. But if you want to do it manually, you can also do that. So let's go to second. We have a raised button. Give it a child of text. Semicolon, not semicolon, colon. And then you can have on pressed called go back. Void go back. And all you have to do in order to go back is navigator dot pop context. And there you go. Now we should change this to go back. So if you click go back, it goes back to the home screen. Easy. Let's change the name of this. It just annoyed me to go to second. There. Simple navigation. Now, another big thing you need to do is pass arguments. In order to create an argument for the second screen, you need to do final, let's say string, passed string. Sure. Then you want to do second, and the curly brackets means that they will be, you'll have get a little name thing on the other screen. I'll show you real quick. But all I need to do is this dot pass string, and you have an argument. So here, and the reason I put the curly brackets is you'll start typing pass, and you'll see pass string. You can pass it something like hello from home. And the second screen, we can make a column here and a text that comes from widget dot pass string. You need to call this widget thing since it is passed into this class but not the state. So you want this widget's argument called pass string. So if we go to the second screen, you should see hello from home because that's what we passed. In order to return something, you want to have an object called returned from second, something like that. And you want to set that equal to navigator push. Second, okay. Then we could put it here and have a text that shows you return from second. Go back home, go to second. I knew it. So this is a future, so we want to await it. So now if we go to second, go back. No, oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. We forgot to actually do the passing. So what we want to pass here? Anything. Hello from the second page. So now when we pop it, it will return something. Hello from second page. There we go. Also, what we did here is the navigator needs to wait until it actually gets the push is finished or the pop happens. So this is why I needed the await and async await. So that is navigation without named routes. Now let's get into navigation with named routes. Okay, so let's set things up a little differently. Comment this out. Void go to second. So this is for the without named routes. And then this is for with named routes. At home, we're going to have to set up, so we will no longer need the home. We will need routes, and hold on. Routes, we're going to want to define all our routes. Routes are, this is how the home route is usually defined. Then home. And then let's define a second route. Second. We need to import that. Oh, comma. So these are the two routes that we're gonna have. Nice. You'll see that this won't work to accomplish everything that we want usually, but I'll show you anyway. So the initial route, we want it to be the home route. I think we're gonna have to restart it. So usually when you change something with initial page or in the main, you might have to restart the app, but here we go. Go to second. All you really need to do is go Navigator dot push named and put /second. And now, if you click the button, you will see a problem. Okay, I didn't push any data that I needed. That's okay. This pass string, remove that. Go to second, go back. There we go. I think go back should still work. Yep. Simple as that. Named routes seems a lot cleaner, right? But you run into a lot of problems when you're trying to, if you want to pass arguments. That is the main point I've been wanting to make on this video. In order to be able to pass arguments, there's a way to do it where you could put arguments after this, but I noticed that's usually only really works with string arguments. And in order to effectively pass your own arguments and get returns and stuff like that, you need to set up a little different. You need to set up your own way to do the route generation and all that stuff. We will no longer need the second route. We just need the initial page. And then there's a function called onGenerateRoute. So onGenerateRoute gets called whenever you want to, as they say, generate a new route. You will get some settings, which will be the route settings. Every time you generate a route, you get the route and some settings that go along with it. Haven't dug too deep into it, but you can see, you can understand how that works. So you get to get the arguments, you go to settings.arguments, and you can set up a switch case statement, settings.name. The name will be, for example, here the slash is home. We will still have the second as a /second. So let's say case is /second. We want to return material page route builder, kind of the same thing what we did with the first one. You're going to need to do that in order to work around the problem that we were having. Default return. Nope. Break, not return. So I think this should still work with what we were doing here. We can try it out. Yes, see? Still works, goes to new route. But when you set it up this way, you're able to pass arguments. However, it's still not that easy. Let's set up this. So the string passed from home. Let's say we want to pass hello. You need to do arguments. Let's say hello. You want to pass hello. You should be able to have this again. Widget dot pass string. Home, you want to pass arguments there. Pass string, you can pass the arguments. Go to second. Hello. There you go. So you're able to pass arguments, right? But it's still difficult because you really pass strings. Well, technically you could pass anything, but you need to do a little bit more work in order to be able to pass more things. The way I think is the best way to do it is create an arguments class called class second arguments. And then here you can define string, pass string, final text, which is a widget, a text, sure. And then second arguments, this dot pass string, this dot a text. You'll see. So I don't know if I explained too well why you need to do that, but you can't really pass. So from the home screen, you can't really pass multiple arguments. You can only pass one object, right? So you're gonna need to set up, if you want to pass things with two different types, for example, a widget and a string, you need to do a little bit of extra work, but that's fine. So we need to make the pass string to not be a pass string. We need to input second arguments. We'll just do arguments. Text here we'll do widget dot arguments dot pass string. Oh, not second arguments. Widget dot arguments dot pass string. Error, no arguments, can't input arguments, no match. Oh, this is probably somewhere else. So arguments here need to be of type second arguments. We can have a pass string of from arguments, and then we can have a text widget, text hello everybody. Where's the problem? Pass string isn't defined. Okay, because now it's arguments. So if we go to second, we should see it say from arguments. There you go. You can have a widget dot arguments dot a text from hello everybody. So what are the benefits of this? The benefits of doing the named arguments is that technically your navigation is all handled here. You're not handling navigation on every screen. If you handle it on every screen, it could potentially get confusing. You could lose where things are navigating from and to. But since everything's happening on the generate route, you don't really have to worry about it. In order to pass more complex arguments, you will need an object or something else in order to be able to pass those. So that's the little negative of it, I guess. Let me show you how you can get returned things using the push named. It's pretty much the same thing. So pop, and then here you just set returned from second again. Await async. Back. Hello from second. That's pretty simple. So if we go back here, let's compare them a bit. So without named routes, you have it a lot simpler to set up, to do everything. It's just easier. Your navigation is handled in one place. If you want to change how navigation works, you just need to, it's all in one place. It makes it a lot easier. Another thing it does need though, it needs extra class and or extra object, maybe is a better word, in order to pass multiple arguments of different type. So here's kind of my final outcome. I think without named routes is better for smaller projects. There's no need to bring in a lot of complexity into a small project trying to have named routes. If you're only changing the routes and navigation in a couple places, I think you can keep tabs on that, and there's no need for this extra complexity. But for the named routes, I think there's definitely benefits and potentially could be better for large projects. So you have everything organized, it's more maintainable maybe. I don't know. These are the two options. I think the name without name routes is a lot simpler, and with the name routes, your code can get a little bit more complex. But if you keep on top of it, it could potentially be more maintainable for larger projects. But yeah, all this code will be on GitHub. I'll put it. There's a link in the description. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.